Hey y'all, this is Charity with Stampin' with Love, and I am here today to share a really fun, cool project with you. We're going to take a paper pumpkin card, or pre-printed card, and turn it into this precious gift box. So isn't this fun? It's a great size little box, and this one in particular with the newest kit contains 9 Hershey's Nuggets. So there's a lot of space in there. It would hold jewelry or whatever. But isn't that a fun little box? So I'm going to show you kind of a formula or a way to make this out of any of the pre-printed cards, like the ones that come in paper pumpkin. You'll see this one had a white back on the card. So did this one, kind of some different ideas from the different kits. The Christmas one that just passed actually makes a different size box because it was A4 cards, so it was a little bit different. But I'm going to show you a formula that works with all of the card sizes. Well, anything that comes, basically. It's kind of a formula, okay? So I made this one. We're going to go ahead and make one with another card out of that same paper pumpkin kit that just came in January, okay? So we're going to start out with our Stampin' Trimmer. My favorite here, okay? And here's my fold in the middle. The tip to remember is that you want to cut off 3/4 inches off of the back side. So on one of these boxes, where it had a white back instead of a printed back like this, you would actually cut the 3/4 inches off of the white side, okay? But I'm going to just, doesn't matter which side because they're the same, so I'm gonna slide it over to 3/4 this way, and I'm just gonna cut off 3/4 inch, okay? So that's out of the way. Now I'm looking at what I have, and I have a score mark right here, which used to be 4 1/4, okay? And what I know that I want to do is I want to score at 3/4 inch, so I'm gonna feed that on in again and score that at 3/4 inch. And then I'm gonna flip it around, and I wanna score the other side at 3/4 inch. Like this, okay? And I only need to add one more score line. So if I look at this, and I see that there's more distance here, this is wider than this is here. So I want to measure 3/4 inch this direction so that I'll have a panel the same size over here. So I'm going to line up that previous score mark, which is right there at 3/4 inch. And again, I'm looking right here on my trimmer and up at the top. There we go, not a thing at all. All right, so there we go. So now I've got 3/4 inch there, okay? I'm gonna flip my card at 90 degrees, and then I'm going to score at 3/4 and 4 3/4. Or in other words, 3/4 in from both sides. Now, if you wanted to use a different measurement, if you wanted to use 1 inch, you could do that too. It's going to make you a smaller box that's going to be a little bit taller, okay? So I have 3/4 inches here. Maybe it's easier to see on the white. 3/4 inches here, 3/4 inches in the middle, 3/4 inches here, and then 3/4 on both sides. I hope that makes sense. But in this way, you can take any card size and you can turn it into a box as long as you keep a consistency of what that measurement is on the sides and in the middle. I just wanted to show you how that was done. So now the fun part is we're going to cut. And what you want to do is you want to cut on kind of up on both of the longer sides here like this. So I'm going to cut along those score lines like this, just up to that first long score line. And this is the part where I'm probably going to fast forward. I also want to be sure that I notch each of these, okay? Because these are all going to be tabs, just the little square parts, okay? Are all going to be tabs that are going to get folded in. And so I want to be sure that I kind of notch those out so that they will fit all nice and pretty, okay? So I'm going to fast forward this while I continue cutting. And I'll be back with you when I get that finished. All right, so now I've got all of my little tabs cut on the sides. And so what I need to do at this point is I'm going to fold and burnish all of these score marks. All right, so all of those are all folded. Now, one thing that I want to do before I start assembling my box is I want to go ahead and punch this little notch that's right here. It kind of helps you get a nice grip on that by giving that little thumb hold, okay, for notching that box. Well, since we don't have any of our smaller circle punches anymore, I discovered that this Label Me Lovely, I believe is what it's called, has a notch in the perfect place for you to feed it in this direction. So if I turn this upside down and I kind of center that edge, I'm gonna just snip off. I hope you can see that. Just snip off that like that. So I have just a little bit of a notch there, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is that's gonna be my top side, okay? So I'm gonna kind of fold that back out of my way because what I need to do first is assemble the bottom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold in these tabs and form it like this and fold up those sides, okay? Now I suggest that you use green liquid glue, but for today, for quickness sake, I'm actually gonna use our awesome Stampin' Seal Plus, which also will work good, but for boxes that are gonna get moved a lot, I really do like liquid glue. It kind of has that permanent feel to it, okay? So again, I'm gonna fold up my bottom. I'm gonna fold in my tabs that are now really nice and sticky. Watch me stick it to myself. Pull it up. I'm gonna look on the side here. Fold that up nice and square. Fold this one in, nice and square. Fold this one. And my fourth corner. Mash those really good. It's really important that I want to do the top last. And the reason why is because all of this was cut at the same size. This is going to be a little snug. So actually, I'm just going to kind of fold this over and not crush my box, but kind of play a little bit with these tabs and get them folded over. You'll notice that your score lines are not going to line up exactly the same, and that's okay. But we want to be sure we assembled this with the top over the bottom of the box. Otherwise, you're going to get it too tight and it won't fit, okay? So when I'm ready, I'm going to lay this down, get my adhesive on my tabs. Y'all, I'm just a mess today. I apologize. All right, here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and close my box, fold in my tabs like so, okay? And actually, I'm going to kind of work one side at a time. And I'm going to do this one a little on the loose side so that then I can shift it this direction. Fold this down. Make sure that's nice and snug. And fold that like so. Okay? So there we go. And there's my box. It's really that easy. And so hopefully that's just kind of a formula that helps. If you notice that these sides are kind of bowing out, just give them a pinch in here, kind of really work on that score line that's right there so that when you close your box, it'll tend to want to sit more square. I say that, and y'all are really struggling here. My other boxes are better, I promise. I'm in a hurry. But they do work nicely. So for this one to finish it off, what I wanted to do is I brought in a little skinny strip, I think it's 1/2 inch wide, of Pool Party cardstock to make a little belly band out of it, okay? So again, I'm gonna use some of my Stampin' Seal Plus. Make my little belly band. I love the snails that came in the add-on kit, and so what I did was, I'm just going to add some more Stampin' Seal Plus there. And I simply cut out some die cuts with the Hippo and Friends dies, which I absolutely love. Stamped the Sending Your Way, some XOs stamped off in Pool Party, and then added one of my little snails with some dimensionals. And I'm just going to pop that right on this little box. So you can make the the little boxes that come with the add-on, but they're kind of smaller. I wanted something a little bit bigger. And so I did this. I also love me some Reese's Hearts that just happened to fit in there, maybe with some confetti or fun stuff. And then it's a nice, fun little gift that will close. And I'm going to put my belly band back on. And there we go. So there's your formula for how to create a little box out of any cards. I love it that it makes my paper pumpkin kits even more versatile and quick. And again, let me just show you some of those ideas again. These are the two from the current Valentine's kit. I love the soft of this and kind of the more cute with this. This one's a little bit larger. It's from the Christmas, using the love to use. So I have another Valentine box. It's not Christmassy. And then from some older paper pumpkin kits. It was just kind of fun to take some extra cards and make some fun little boxes. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. I hope you learned something. Oh, one more tip, really quick. I almost forgot. If you decide, like on this one, for example, that I wanted to stamp on my box, but I forgot to do it before I assembled my box. One of the things I did discover that's great is that if you take one of our D Stampin' Blocks and you can just pop it right inside there, then that gives you your hard surface to stamp on the outside. You just have to shift it from side to side if you need to go over to the sides, okay? I hope that makes sense, but that's another little cheat that I figured out, that block will fit nicely in there. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and as always, may your heart be full, may your tea be sweet, may God bless you real big until next we meet. Bye, y'all.